if I sound weird or if I sound congested, it's because I am congested and I'm recovering from a cold and I have that deep, sick voice. So really great. But for the most part, I'm doing really well. And I realize it's been a while since I've recorded a vlog. And I think what sparked this inspiration was I just watched Linda's vlog and she was talking about mental health, something that I really value and something that I've been battling with for the past few months. It's no surprise to anyone who is still in touch with me. And of course, long story short, it's been a really rough 6 months. I talked about it in my last vlog. And I think the reason why I didn't continue vlogging or even verbally talking about it was because it was starting to get depressing and I didn't want to put that type of energy out there on a regular basis. It started to sound repetitive, and at that point I was thinking, you know what, I need to do something about this. And talking about it to just friends and family wasn't cutting it. One, I'm really thankful that I'm able to talk to friends and family about it, but I feel like I needed to solve it, like nip it in the butt and actually solve the root or start talking about the root of it. I think that's one way to say it. But long story short, I finally got a therapist, and I found a therapist through BetterHelp. And the first therapist I had, I mean, he was really nice and he was a person that I was able to talk to, but that was it. I was just talking to somebody, and I knew I needed a therapist who aligned more with my way of thinking, someone who's a bit more spiritual and someone who would stop me and help analyze why I'm thinking what I'm thinking, rather than just shoving an event aside, kind of, I don't know, unlayering it, peeling the onion, and just going through all of the emotional trauma within it and helping me remove my identity from my thoughts. The thing is, I feel like I know what I need to do, and I feel like it's somewhere within me, but my ego's in the way, and I just wanted a therapist who can help strip that and help me uncover these things, you know? So first therapist didn't exactly do that. So I rematched with another one, and I will say that they were so nice that they were able to just send me a list of therapists to choose from. And I read every single bio. I think what helps is I knew what I was looking for. And I picked 3 bios that I aligned with, and I got matched with the first person, and he's been great. I only had 1 session with him, so it's crazy. You know you found the one when you found the one, because after that first session, I was already crying, and I had already felt like he was tapping into some wounds, but in a different perspective and helping me see them for what they were versus what I was thinking they were, you know? So that was great, and I have another session with him tomorrow, and ever since then, or I can't even say it's ever since then, but just in general, this week has been an up week, you know? And it's really weird talking about down weeks when you're in an up, but at the same time, I feel like it's really important to embrace these up weeks, but also acknowledge the downs, because it has allowed me to appreciate this week. Like when I wake up, yes, I'm sick and I haven't been able to work out, and that part really sucks, but I wake up and I'm for the first time in a really long time, I'm waking up and I'm happy and I'm grateful. And you've no idea how relieving that is. You have no idea how long it's been since I've actually felt these feelings, because there have been a lot of mornings when I wake up and I am grateful and things are great on the outside, but deep down there is this sadness and sorrow, you know, and I would sometimes acknowledge it, but it was challenging to talk about, because it was like, who would truly understand, you know? Or I actually don't want anyone to try to make me feel differently about what I'm feeling. I'm just feeling it, you know? That's it. It's happening and it's just happening. And So that's what was going on. And this week it's different. And I can't say that it's just one thing. I really think it's a combination of things, and it's also been in the works for a really long time. So one thing that has been in the works is my eating. I recently started ordering Simple Feast. It's a meal kit. It's all plant-based. And I ordered it because a couple years ago, it was sent to me through a friend and I loved it. And I had been thinking about them ever since that I decided to just start paying for it. It's pretty pricey. It's like $99 a week for 3 meals, and then 3 recipes, and then each recipe can feed you about 2 to 3 meals, depending on your appetite. And honestly, that's just enough for me for the week, because often I end up eating out, or I'll be on set and they feed me, or my roommates get something, or we cook something together and stuff like that. So it allows me to enjoy food in social settings, but then also meal prep at home and still enjoy my smoothies and other things. So that I've been doing for the past month and a half. And y'all, you don't even know. When I say I love it, I mean I love it. You can even ask some of my roommates. Sometimes I finish cooking a meal, and as I'm walking to the dining table, I'm like, oh, I'm so hyped to eat this every single day. Every single day, I'm really hyped to eat my food. Maybe I'll show you what I make today. And so that I've been doing for a month and a half. I've also cut out dairy, mostly because of my eczema. My eczema has been really bad. Like, you can see this little cowl looking mark on my arm, and that is because of my eczema. Believe it or not, this is a huge improvement. This is healing, but before it was like really red and scabby and really itchy, and I knew it was because of stress, and I knew it was because I was eating a lot of dairy. So I just, you know what, I changed my perspective, and I didn't want to be that person who consistently eats dairy even though I know I'm allergic, even though I know I'm lactose, even though I know I could pop a Lactaid. You know, sometimes I will have some dairy, but I'll always pop a Lactaid now. But for the most part, I'm dairy free. And ever since then, my eczema has significantly improved. Ever since then, my health feels better. Ever since I've been eating healthier, I knew that, like, for me, success isn't a destination, but it's more of a journey. And as long as I'm working towards my worthy ideal, I feel happy. And yeah, I'm not exactly where I want to be physically, because I haven't been working out, but the fact that I'm working towards it through my eating and nutrition, I feel so good about that. So that's one reason why I've been feeling better, is because I know I've been putting in the work for my nutrition. Another thing is getting a therapist. And this one's been a long time coming, because when I had the first one, I was in denial about him not being my therapist. And then I was talking to my mentor, and he was saying that finding the right therapist is really hard, because it's like finding a spouse. It's like finding a life partner. This person is that significant. And I've had a therapist before, and she was great. The thing is, I can't afford her, because she's a couples therapist, and she was like $200 a session. And I didn't have $200 a session. So that's why I went with BetterHelp. It's $80 a week, and you get a session a week. And it's about 45 minutes long, so much cheaper, but also so valuable. And I think after having that one session last Saturday, I already feel significant improvement in my mental health. And another thing that I believe has helped me is that lately, you know, I think what I was talking about in my previous videos, I've been really, really attached to this whole morning routine. Clearly, mornings are really valuable to me. I really value tackling a lot of my routine, like not only mornings, but routines in general, because routines, when they're habits, allow your mind to think of other things, since the rest of your non-negotiables are happening automatically. You know, the reason why I was so attached to last year's routine was because I woke up, went to the gym and worked out and showered and listened to audiobooks and listened to Snacks Daily, which is now called T-Boy. And and then went home and meditated and meal prepped and journaled and posted something on my Instagram. These were all really things that were very important to me at that time. And I did all of that before 10 a.m. So of course, experiencing that, oh God, it was such a high. And I think about it and it's like you're grasping for that again. But the thing is, I'm in a very different place now. And I think I was holding on to that so tightly that I wasn't allowing myself to fully experience a new version of my life. And in this past month and a half, I've slowly let go of that life, and I'm opening up to the concept of living a different life, which is more of a nightlife. Not like now, back then I used to go to sleep at 8:30 p.m. and wake up at 4 a.m. Nowadays, I've been going to sleep at 11:30 p.m. and waking up at 8. Actually, lately it's now been moving towards 7:30. Ideally, I would like to wake up earlier, but right now I'm not pressuring myself to. If anything, this month my focus has been on nutrition, and since I'm only focusing on one thing, that has been really nice. I guess two things: nutrition and getting enough sleep. So I'm allowing myself to have 8 or 9 hours, which is a really long time, but until I start to feel like 7 hours is sufficient. 7 hours used to be my sweet spot then, but right now 8 to 9, because I've been stressed and I feel like my body is just going through a lot that she just needs to sleep. And I'm not being mad about it. If anything, if I want to wake up earlier, that just means sleep a bit earlier, but then want to sleep earlier. Don't make it feel like, oh, you need to do this. So it seems really small, but I think having that true mental shift is really helping me mentally more on a less, like I don't feel as overwhelmed to execute. So I've been doing it very slow. If anything, last week I kept waking up at 8, and this week I've just been pulling it earlier by about 15 minutes. So I'm going to sleep around the same time, like around 11:30, and then waking up at 7:45. Actually, I've been waking up before 7:45 naturally, so I'm allowing that to happen, but I'm not pressuring myself to wake up before 7:45. The next week, maybe it'll be 7:30, and then the week after that, it'll be 7:15, and the week after that, 7, and it feels like it's going to be a really long time, but I think I would rather take it slow because I've been trying to force it, like do that huge jump immediately. And I tried doing that in January, and look at us, we're in May now, and I've barely made any progress. That I'm like, you know what, going slow and taking it 15-minute increments for 5 weeks is really not that bad. What's 5 weeks compared to 5 months, So that's where I'm at. And God, if you've made it this far into the video, thank you, because this is really just me rambling, but that's truly what's been going on. Outside of that, things have been great because I recently did a talk at Tastemade. We had an event and I got to moderate, and it was my first time moderating, and it was on the rise in Asian hate and how it affects mental health. And I really value mental health, but talking about Asian hate is something I'm not particularly comfortable with. Not that I don't care, it's really hard to talk about, I'm just not used to talking about it. I don't know how to, and I'm not comfortable, but I wanted to step out of my comfort zone, and I didn't particularly talk about it directly. I was definitely more the moderator, and I was the one who was asking questions, but that was like me doing my best and trying to do what I could do. And I know what my strengths are, and my strengths are public speaking. And I also believe that a strength of mine is stepping out of my comfort zone and doing things that scare me, but because I want to. I'm not doing it just because, oh, it scares me, I'm going to do it. It's because I'm like, I actually want to get better at this, so let me try it. And that event went really well. And so that's one aspect that happened on Tuesday. And then next Monday, I am going to be speaking at a middle school about being creative in my career, which is so wild. I still have to come up with a presentation. I have a very, very rough outline, but I plan on working on that today. But when I was a kid, I really wanted to be a teacher. So this is kind of cool because I kind of get to get that fix, but not have to do it on a daily basis. So I'm really excited and I'm really honored that I was asked to do that. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it. I'm proud, I'm relieved, I'm a lot more content. And at this point, I'm just kind of going off faith, you know? I re-listened to the Atomic Habits and it's more of like, all right, what are the habits that I slowly want to implement in my life? And I'm going to do it slowly. And I'm going to do it with faith that if I continue to do it on a consistent basis, that it'll get me where I want to go. And as long as I'm actually working on that, I am happy. I don't need to be at that spot to be happy, but as long as I'm working towards it, I'm happy. And that's where I'm at today.